Welcome back to another episode of the Digital Wrap Up. My name is Riley and I'm the host and I'm the CEO of Harden Digital Design. Wanted to spend some time today talking about everything that happened with Harden Digital Design in 2022, kind of do a look back episode of where we were at to start the year and where we are at now. Technically in the middle of January, but to close out the 2022 year. A lot has happened over the past specifically 6 months since we transitioned from Harden Digital to Harden Digital Design. And I kind of just wanted to spend a few minutes today talking about that and kind of taking a look back. And it's cool to see how much has changed and how much has really been accomplished in the past 6 months since we made the change. So it's good to kind of just reflect on those things every once in a while. If you would have asked me at the beginning this time of last year if I thought I would be sitting here in the new podcast studio to start the 2023 year, I wouldn't have imagined it. But here we are, and I'm super excited. Been having a lot of fun. A lot of stress too, super busy, all that type of stuff, but that just comes with continuing to grow the business. So I'm going to highlight just some of the key points. I haven't really done an episode here on the Digital Wrap Up talking about the business side of things for a while. Been more focused on social media, graphic design tips and tricks and things like that in the past few episodes, but kind of wanted to get back to talking about some of the business side of things too, because that's what started this podcast in a way, is following my journey from startup to success was the tagline. I guess it still technically is, but we just go through stretches of talking about different topics and intermingling the two. But so just going to kind of run down a few of the biggest points or the biggest things that happened in the past 6 months, and then go from there. I guess if you have been following along, 12 months ago today, I was still at recording this podcast, running the business out of my office in my apartment up in northern Indiana, and then decided to make the move back towards central Indiana, where I'm from, and where my girlfriend's family is from, kind of where our lives were. And we made that move back in the summer, and in about that same time is when we made the switch to Harden Digital Design and brought on my business partner, Kaylee, who's our creative director, and kind of rebranded and started offering more services. So really July is when all of that kicked off officially, and then what came with that was the new website and new services. So we offer graphic design services now, logo creation, print materials, promotional materials, whatever you may need designed. We can do all of that because our creative director, Kaylee, is awesome at doing all of that stuff. So that was really the biggest switch from 2020 or the beginning of 2022 to now, was the rebranding and bringing on business partner and the new services. A lot has kind of obviously changed, but we are still continuing to grow the graphic design side of business. Kaylee brought on quite a few of her retainer clients that she'd been doing freelance work for the past several years. She brought those on, I guess, technically, so they're now technically clients of Harden Digital Design, but still just doing a lot of the same stuff that she was doing. And we're still trying to kind of grow that side of the business and bring on some more retainer type clients for the graphic design services, instead of just doing, the one-off logo designs and promotional materials or printed materials, things like that. Which are great. We love doing those and everything, but long-term growth, having some more of those steady clients that we're doing things for month to month, it's bringing in recurring revenue each month is the goal to continue growing that. So we're trying to come up with new ways to bring in some more of those leads and bring on some more of those type of clients moving forward in 2023. And we did just come up with a new kind of service package that we're going to be offering now, which is promotional event promotion package, where we'll put together a kind of package of what we can do surrounding an event for your company. So if you don't want to have us on retainer, or pay us just for I guess it's more just a one-time type of package that you can hire us for your upcoming event. So what all you kind of get with that package is event cover photo, shareable graphics up to a certain number for print or digital, and then an 8.5 by 11 flyer, a postcard invitation, all that kind of printed or digital promotional materials that you need. We'll design those for you, and then we'll also create some social media posts for you to include in that package. Just some announcements and save the date and register now or sign up now, but get your tickets now, last chance, like all those type of event promotional posts that you can then schedule out on social media. There's some add-ons that we do too. If you need a logo for the event, if you want a program, stickers, like extra swag things. We never print stuff in-house. That's one thing that we always clarify. We don't do our own printing, but we partner with a couple of different printers, one here locally in Tipton, Indiana, and then some other ones across the state and throughout the country that we have, that Kaylee has close relationships with. So if you need promotional materials, we'll design everything for you, and then we can either work with our printing partners, or if you have somebody that you want to go through, we can just send you the files and you go from there. And the same type of concept with the with the social media packet, or the social media side of that event promotion package, is that we'll write all these posts for you, but we don't schedule them for you or anything like that, unless we can do that as an add-on fee where we'll schedule and manage all these posts. But typically that just means we'll create the post, send it to you in a Word document, and you're in charge of when they go out and how they go out and that type of stuff. We'll also work with you on if you want to set up some ads, creating a Facebook event page. All that type of stuff is sort of an additional fee that, it's just a little extra work going above and beyond just the base package. So, and I know I kind of led into this package talking about retainer clients, and then immediately started talking about a package that's not necessarily on retainer, but it is just circling back to those new ways of bringing in graphic design clients for growing that side of the business. That's just one thing that we came up with, and hopefully kind of takes off here, because there's a lot of people out there that try this on their own, creating graphics in Canva or flyers in Canva, and they're using 5 different fonts and all these different colors, and it's just impossible to read. And so it's not a good look for your event. It might not attract very many people at all. So it's something that we could see being a big hit with businesses or organizations that don't necessarily have the funding or need for us to provide services to them on a month-by-month basis, but could definitely hire us for a one-time event type of fee. So so that's kind of where we're at right now with the graphic design side of the business. Still just looking to grow, and then obviously we still have social media and website. We've brought on a couple new social media retainer clients since we opened up here in Tipton. Built a few new websites, which I'll talk about here in a couple minutes. But yeah, I guess talking about the office in Tipton, that's the next biggest thing that happened in 2022 is we opened an office in downtown Tipton, right off of the square. Perfect location. A lot of people driving by it every single day, walking by it when it's warmer out. And I touched on this when Kaylee and I did our first podcast since the first podcast when we launched all this. We talked about this a little more. So if you want to go back and take a listen to that, and let me see what episode that was. Episode 31 on August 4th is when we kind of shared all of the news of what was happening with Harden Digital and talked a little bit more about the office. And that was Kaylee's first podcast episode too. So if you want to go back and listen to that one, it's a good one. But, we never originally planned on opening an office immediately when we joined forces, but it fell into our hands. It was a good location, the right size for what we were needing. We each have our own office, including Hannah, our account manager. When she is here, she has the flexibility, obviously, to work from home and go out and create content for the clients and work from wherever she wants, but she has an office here too. Then we have a whole front reception area and the podcast studio here. It's a whole separate closed off office for this. So it was really just, exactly what we weren't looking for, but it was the perfect fit for us. So it's been awesome. I'm glad that we did it 100%. Being established in a local community has helped us bring on a bunch more business, especially on the websites. Done a handful of websites for organizations, and even a mayor candidate for mayor in Tipton. We helped out with one of their websites as well. So putting our foot in the door, or getting our foot in the Tipton area, was definitely the right decision. And we kind of just had to pull the trigger on it right away. So speaking of, those websites that we've done, we've been able to help out a couple of the nonprofits here, including the Tipton Community Theater, or Tipton, the theater here in Tipton, and the Boys and Girls Club of Tipton County as well. Created 2 brand new websites for both of them, and have absolutely gotten the best feedback from them, from people who have visited those websites. So, especially with them being nonprofits, that's one thing that I've talked about before, is I wanted to be a resource and help out nonprofits. We have a couple of nonprofit social media clients that we work with, and that's kind of my giving back side of the business. And with one of those websites, we did that for them for free, and we'll get some advertising at it. We get a sponsorship at their local show, or at one of their upcoming shows. So they were in need of a new website, but they didn't necessarily have the funds, or weren't really wanting to pay for a brand new website. So we were able to work with them and help them out there. So just again, circling back to the Tipton thing, it's been a huge benefit for us, and we're all happy that we're here. I know Kaylee's happy to have an office space that she can get out of the house and come work to now too. I'm doing, besides around the holidays and being on vacation, I'm usually in 3 days a week, at home 2 days a week. That's kind of the general cadence that I use, and I've lately been finding I'm more productive at the office than I am at home. Having a new home, there's always projects and things going on there that I could be doing too. So trying to balance that out is hard sometimes. So I've been more productive lately at the office than at home, which is weird because during the pandemic, or when the pandemic first started, I was actually a lot more productive at home versus being in the office, because there's less distractions. But I didn't have my own home. I was living with the roommates at his house, and nobody else was around. Didn't have a bunch of responsibilities. There are other things to take care of. I could just sit there and work. So kind of flip-flopped since, the first work from home experience for me to now. So, yeah, it's, none of us have set schedules. We're not in here 8 to 5 every single day or 3 days a week or anything like that. It's kind of just, work where you want, however often you want, as long as you're getting the work done. We're very flexible, and that's something that Kaylee and I both wanted to establish from the very beginning, both for ourselves and then for any potential employees down the road as well. And we've held to that. I think it just makes it a better work environment, not so strict and things like that. Who knows if we continue to grow and expand, which is obviously the goal. If that'll continue, I think there shouldn't be a reason it shouldn't continue, but that's just where we're at now, and it's working out great. Speaking of, employees, I guess we haven't done a formal introduction on social media or the podcast yet, but we hired Hannah on to be an account manager for us. She was doing it part-time for a little bit while she transitioned out of her previous job, and now she's on with us full-time and managing several accounts for us for several clients for us on the social media side of things, and seems to be doing a great job at that. She's really loving it, creating content for our clients. There's some that are in-person clients where she's going and actually filming the content, like our new chiropractic client. Chiropractic client. That one's a hard one to say, but she's loving creating content for them. Started their TikTok account, had a couple of videos go somewhat viral since we've started with them, both on Instagram Reels and TikTok. So having a blast, doing a great job there. And it helped me. I gave her some of my clients that I was managing, as well as bringing on new clients for her as well. So it helped free up some of my time so I can focus on other things like the business side of things, payroll, taxes, business development, and websites. Yeah, drew a blank there for a second, but I had a lot more websites projects been working on since we brought on Hannah, so I was able to transition some of my work onto her so that I could focus on those things and new websites as well. So super happy to have Hannah on the team. She's doing great, and we've even had multiple people reach out about internships now, which is exciting and kind of scary at the same time, because I can't imagine managing an intern right now, though I keep saying I need the help without being able to pay one. But there's that whole training side and teaching them, and I guess really the whole onboarding process to get them up to speed on what we're doing. And I don't know exactly what I would have them doing right away, and so I need the help, but I haven't sat down to establish a good internship program. I would want it to be something legit. I wouldn't want it to be something that they kind of just come and sit around and do stuff as I ask them to. I want it to be an actual internship program if we were to explore that avenue down the road, but just haven't gotten there yet. We've had a couple people reach out, which is awesome, and keeping them in mind if we do get to that point here in the next few months. So I think that's kind of all of the news on the employee side of things, but the next big step for the business last year, towards the tail end of the year, was the podcast studio, which sitting in now, and my new favorite sign, the on-air sign, and you can't necessarily see them, but over here the office signs or posters, still got some decorating to do, but I'm glad that we finally took the initiative to create the podcast studio so that I could do some more video podcasts, and we're uploading these to YouTube now. If you are watching on YouTube, hello, but if you're not, you can check out the digital wrap up on YouTube, just youtube.com/@Harden Digital. you'll see the past several episodes, and we're going to be working on uploading some of the previous Digital Wrap-Up episodes to YouTube. Even though they are just audio, we'll still try and get those up there so they're all in one place, as well as obviously the website and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and those things. But right now it kind of just starts at like episode 35 is the very first YouTube video on our channel, and that's it. So we kind of want to go and backdate some of those. But this one's been fun for me, opening, quote unquote, opening the podcast studio and starting this whole video venture, and hoping it continues to grow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and we'll see where this avenue of content creation takes us. It's something that doesn't require a whole lot more work than what I'm already doing with the podcast in general. It's not like I'm not adding a ton of different visuals or things to the YouTube video, but it's just another source of getting our content out there and hopefully reaching a whole new audience. So looking forward to it and having a blast with that. I think on the business side of things, and excuse me as I get another drink, but talking specifically about business functions and running the business, one thing that was a big challenge for me whenever we started and joined forces was payroll and taxes, the non-appealing side of running a business. It was something that I thought I could tackle at first, and that was part of my deal with bringing on Kaylee, was that I would handle all of that and take care of it so she could just focus on, the design work, actually designing. And it started out okay for a while, paying payroll. And paying payroll, that process really isn't complicated, but it's the taxes side of things that I quickly learned I did not know what I was doing. And I didn't know when I had to make the payments to state and federal and unemployment and all these different things that come along with having employees and paying actual payroll, and not just transferring money from the business bank account to my personal account. And that's how I used to pay myself when I was just an LLC, sole proprietorship. And now that we're an S corporation, it's all different. So quickly learned that I didn't know what I was doing, and took some advice of, let the professionals handle that type of thing. Just like we pitched to our clients of letting us manage their social media, because we're the ones that know what we're doing, while you would be kind of struggling and not really able to follow through or do what you need to do with social media. So once somebody kind of put that thought in my head, I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Kind of outsource it to the people who know what they're doing, and for a little bit more expensive of a fee than what I was already using with QuickBooks. We now have our payroll managed and taxes paid for and all that stuff up to date, where I just select how much we get paid every 2 weeks, and then they tackle every single other aspect of it, from paying the taxes and sending us reports and all of this different stuff. So been very beneficial, been a time saver for me, a stress reliever for sure, because I was worried if I was up to date on all of our payments, and was I falling behind, missing payments, and all this different stuff that was really just slowing me down in the long run. So now I'm freed up from that, and I couldn't be more thankful. So looking to me, that's sort of a form of automation in the business, and kind of adapting and learning how to better our processes so that we can continue to grow and put time and effort into the side of the business that matters, which is continuing to grow. And so we're adapting as we go, still learning along the way. We're, like Kaylee and I now have a weekly meeting to talk about where we're at with everything from finances to current projects to future projects, how we're going to increase revenue in the next month or the next year, or even the next week, whatever it may be. Like the new event promotion service just kind of came to life during one of those meetings. And so hopefully, putting some more business processes in place can help us better have a better strategy moving forward, and hopefully, standardize what we do here at Harden Digital and Design, instead of kind of just taking the freelancers mentality to it and kind of just going on the fly here. So hoping to standardize things more, perfect our business processes, really make things more of a lean process and more effective all around as we move into 2023. So I think that's kind of a big overview, a lot of information, but I haven't really done a look back or where we're at since I think episode 32 of when we did the 1 week since launch episode. And so I haven't really provided any update of what we've been doing lately. We have a lot of other things in the works upcoming, a couple of training sessions potentially with organizations here in Tipton, and lots of other things and projects in the pipeline, selling potentially some ebooks or templates and projects. And, there's just always so many ideas going through my head and Kaylee's head of how we can continue to generate income, revenue, passively or actively, I guess, working with our clients. So a lot of things in the works, in progress, and hopefully, 2022 was the biggest year by far for Harden Digital as a whole. Obviously, bringing on new services, new business partner. I kind of expected that, but how do we continue to progress and grow from the success of late 2022 and into 2023 and beyond is what we're focusing on now. So that's just a snapshot of Harden Digital and Design, where we're at with the business, and kind of the journey of startup to success. So thanks for following along. If you do have any questions about the services we offer, especially that event promotion service, and you have an upcoming event that you want our help with and branding and promoting and all of that, please send us an email, Riley@hardendigital.com or Kaylee@hardendigital.com, or visit our website, hardendigital.com, and check out the services there. It's under the services tab at the very top, and we'd be happy to get set up and working with your business. So be sure to subscribe to the podcast, whether it's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, or whatever platform that you listen or watch the podcast on. Please subscribe, and it'd be greatly appreciated. And I think that'll be all for this week. So I'll sign off, and I hope you all have a great week, and we will see you soon.